I'm not screwing around right now, Elliot. You've really done it now by laying your fingers on my fiancé. What? Melanie? Aiden is my boyfriend, you know. No, wait. He's my fiancé, and we're supposed to be getting married soon. Yet you went and laid your nasty fingers on him? Aren't you supposed to be my longtime friend or something? Wait a second, what's going on here? Aiden has been my fiancé forever now. What is wrong with you? Being delusional now? Aiden is not only attractive and kind, but he has a really good job as well. I get that you want to make him yours, but he's not your man for the taking. He's my man, and has been my man for the longest time now. So don't you dare call him your fiancé ever again. You should be the one to stop calling him your fiancé. Why do you keep saying that my Aiden is your fiancé? Are you kidding me? This is going to be my last warning to you. Normally, I would be coming out and kicking your butt right now, but since you're a longtime friend of mine, I'm going to go easy on you one last time. So this is your last chance to leave my fiancé alone. Promise me right now that you will never come near my man ever again. If you can do that for me, then I'll let you off the hook. But if you ignore this promise, then I'm going to make you pay. Melanie. And once I've gone and told you off, then everyone else in our friend group will do the same, and you'll be alone forever. They will all learn about how you tried to steal my fiancé from me, and that news will spread all over town. You'll have to leave town after that, and I hope you can run away far enough so that you never have to hear about the damage you caused yourself again. Melanie, please calm down. I need you to stop talking and listen to what I have to say. Can we meet up right now and talk all of this through? Who would want to talk to a whore like you right now? Now hurry up and get the idea of my fiancé out of your head. Aiden is mine, and he will be marrying me. You and him will never become a thing.
Sorry I didn't see you calling me. What's going on? It's pretty rare of you to be calling me like that in the middle of a workday.
I have something I need to ask you about right now. Tell me what relationship you have with Melanie.
What?
Just a bit ago, I was texting with one of my longtime friends. Her name is Melanie. But for some reason, she thinks that you are her fiancé. She then started telling me to forget about you, and boy was she pissed.
What?
She was also telling me about how you have a really good job right now. So I'm wondering if perhaps she knows you from work or something? Have you ever run into one of my longtime friends before?
You're joking, right? You and her longtime friends?
So you really do know Melanie.
It's not like we're close or anything, rather, we just work together. I told you before about how I have this coworker who was kind of a problem in the office, right? Well, that's Melanie I've been talking about.
What? She's the one that's always been approaching you in the office? The one who you're always telling to leave you alone, but she just keeps coming back for more and more?
That's her. Melanie's the one I've been telling you about. I always hated the fact that I had to work in the same department as her, so I've been trying so hard to get out of the department and move to some other location. I thought she would have left me alone after I started talking to the manager about leaving, but she just keeps coming. I don't know why she can't take any hints, but it's really starting to get on my nerves.
But you told me before that you said no to her face when she confessed her feelings to you, right?
I did, and for a week or two she stayed away from me. But I think after stopping by to see her, she got the wrong idea and thought I was into her.
You stopped by to see her? Where?
A few months ago, she came down with a serious flu and had to take a lot of time off from work. When that happened, I had to go to her house to see her. And no, I wasn't going there because I had feelings for her, but because I needed to bring her work computer so that she could work from her house for a week. That required me to go all the way to her house, unfortunately.
What? I never knew you had to go and do that.
At that time, I had to go over there. My manager told me to bring her some leftover jelly cups we had at the office as well. And so I brought those along with me to try and make her feel a little better. But, it seems that she took that completely the wrong way and thought I was starting to feel connected to her. When I was leaving her house that day, she told me that I really must be in love with her if I'm coming all that way out to bring her jelly. At the time, I thought she was just a little bit out of it due to the flu, but, well...
What?
Ever since then, I've heard rumors from other coworkers who say that she really does think that I'm into her. So now, I've really been trying my best to avoid her all the time when I'm in the office. But dang, she really does think we're dating now or something. And she thinks I'm her fiancé now too? I've never even proposed to her before.
I always remembered her as being the kind of girl who gets way too far ahead of herself when it comes to things like relationships. But I didn't think she'd get that bad.
I'm really afraid to confront her about this now. Alright, I'm just going to ignore her completely. Anytime she says anything to me, I'm going to act like she's not there. Everyone in the office knows that you and I are engaged, so they will understand what I'm doing for sure. As long as me avoiding her completely doesn't affect our work, I think this will be fine.
I really do hope so. I also happen to have a lot of trips I still need to take for work before our wedding, so I can ignore her all I want. Let's just forget about Melanie ever being a thing and get past all of this. And once we've had the wedding and are married, she'll be forced to accept the truth. Hey, Elliot! When are you going to get to this wedding venue? I went through all of the trouble of inviting you, so hurry up and come. What? I sent you the invitation to the wedding, right? Well, today is the day of the wedding. You sent me an invitation? What? Whose wedding are you talking about right now? Huh? I'm talking about Aiden and I's wedding. Did you think someone else was getting married today? What? There was a wedding invitation from me in your mailbox, right? Have you still not opened your mailbox or something? I'm sorry, but I only just got back home from a very long business trip last night, so I haven't gotten around to looking in my mailbox yet. Jesus! You can stop lying to me about all of that right now. I know you opened the mailbox up to see the invitation from Aiden and I's wedding, right? Yet, seeing that invitation for the marriage of Aiden and I was too heartbreaking for you, and that's why you never replied to it, right? Huh? But you should be calming down from all the shock soon, right? I made sure to warn you about this before, which means you should be over Aiden by now, right? I would be really happy if you stopped playing around with me now and started to act like the longtime friend again. You're kidding me. Do you really still think that Aiden is going out with you? Huh? What the hell was that? Does this mean you're still not over my fiancé yet? You're a lot more rude than I thought you were. If that's how you're going to act with me, then I need to get you to this wedding. I want to show you today just who Aiden is going to be getting married to. Huh? Hurry up and get your butt over here so that you can celebrate my wedding. All of our other friends are on their way here right now and would be very confused as to why you haven't arrived yet. I want all of you to see what true love looks like by watching Aiden and I finally tie the knot to our eternal happiness together. What are you going on about? What other friends? Melanie, who else did you invite to that wedding of yours? Who else? All of my friends, of course. Around 30 of them should be coming here today. This is my wedding after all, so each and every one of them should be here for me. You're kidding. You invited 30 friends? I originally wanted my parents to be here today, but they both didn't want to come to a wedding of mine where I'd be marrying a man they'd never even met before, and then told me to leave them out of it in a very angry tone. Why do they have to meet Aiden before the wedding? But you invited 30 of your friends? And they all should be arriving at the wedding venue soon. There actually happens to be another wedding going on here right now, so my wedding is going to be a little late today. So all of us are just going to have to wait here in the changing room. We are all looking forward to my wedding so badly, to the point where we're ready to burst out of here and take over that other wedding. What? Here comes all the rest of my friends now. All 30 of them are going to be crammed in here with me, so things are going to become pretty cramped soon. And it is a hot day today, so I hope we can get out of here soon. But because of the wait, you'll be able to make it if you start coming now, so hurry it up and get here, please. You do happen to be my longtime friend, so I'd like for you to give a speech today as well. Melanie, I have something I'd like to ask you about. What wedding venue's changing room are you in right now? Huh? Have you really not taken a look at that invitation I sent you? It says we're at Heaven's Greenery right now. This is one of the most popular places to be read right now. So, that's where Aiden and I are at today. What? Come on, come on. Everyone is waiting on you now, so hurry up. If you don't make it here soon, you're going to miss Aiden and I's wedding. The wedding is over with, though. What? Wow, that was a real close one there. Thankfully, I was able to let all the staff here know not to let any of you guys into the wedding hall, and have you all moved into the changing room until after the wedding's finished. But I never thought that it would be you and 30 of your friends trying to come in here. What? What? What are you talking about? What wedding is over with now? Whose wedding are you talking about? Elliot, what are you talking about right now? Aiden and I's wedding is over with now. Huh? That wedding you were told about that was running a bit late was our wedding. Well, it wasn't running late or anything though. Rather, there were no plans at this venue for you to have a wedding today. That's why we had our wedding at the time we planned it and just finished up a little bit ago. Hold it! Elliot, there's no way Aiden would be getting married to you today. I'm tired of you always having these dang delusions all the time. Don't you mean that we're all tired of you having your delusions all the time? You're the one who seems to never be able to escape from your fantasies. I have been together with Aiden for a long time now, and we just got married. He was never going to be marrying you. Huh? I heard all about you from Aiden. All he did was come to your house once to drop off your work computer and some jelly cups from the office break room. Yet, you started having this massive misunderstanding just from that one 10-minute interaction. He never even said that he was into you, so how come you think he was ever going to marry you today? And it's not just that you thought he'd be marrying you today, but you told everyone he was your fiancé, as well as invited all your friends here. I think you've gone completely off the deep end there. How is any of this me going off the deep end? Hayden is in love with me. That's the whole reason why he came to see me when I was sick. He would never just come to my house like that while I'm sick if he was just another coworker. Aiden said he was only there because the manager asked him to. You made a mistake one day and took the wrong laptop home with you from the office. One that happened to have a lot of data from the company that's prohibited from being taken out of the office. I was doing that for his sake, though. He always seems so busy in the office, and I thought that I could help him out by taking that laptop home and doing some of the work for him. And, well, while that was happening, I started to get the flu. But even with me being contagious, he came all the way to my house because he loves me that much. He was so thankful for all the help that I gave him by doing some of that work, and from that day onward, him and I started dating. But from what I heard, Aiden chewed your butt out when you came back to work for what you'd done. And what are you talking about with him being thankful? You got him in trouble with your guy's manager, and then forced him to have to come out to your house and bring your computer so that he could take the other laptop back with him to the office. I don't get how any of that means you guys started dating. He just did that to me in order to hide our love from the rest of the office. Aiden happens to be very popular at work, so in order to keep our love on the down low, he'd always make it look like we weren't together. That's why I helped him out by never going on any dates with him, never calling or texting him, or even speaking to him at work. Wow. So that's what you thought he was doing? But how? And even though we've had to hide our love to that extent, we've been moving along very well relationship-wise. So why the hell would he be getting married to you today? There's no way he'd want to marry you. Exactly. Huh? Anyway, hurry up and go home. I would like to get changed out of this dress soon, and you all are taking up space in there. If you don't all leave soon, I'm going to have to call the staff to call the police and take care of you. The police? And once everything has calmed down, I'm going to have to apologize to the staff for having to deal with your fantasies today. I'll also be apologizing to all of our friends that got tricked into thinking you would be marrying Aiden today. Why would you do this to me, Elliot? Because of you, all of my friends hate me now. Huh? I went and tried to talk to all of them. I wanted them to know that you went and stole Aiden from me, but not a single one of them stuck around to comfort me in my broken heart. And actually, every single one of my friends told me that they didn't want to talk to me anymore and left. I already went and talked to them about what happened, and they knew even before the wedding that Aiden and I were a long-time thing. But they told me you had been trying to get them to believe you. However, when they asked for proof, all you could show them were these old images that looked photoshopped. Well, I had no other choice. Him and I never went on any dates with one another, so there was never any time to take pictures together. And we didn't want everyone in the office to find out we'd been dating. So, the only thing I could do to make it feel like we were together was Photoshop some pictures and take random secret ones of us together whenever Aiden was near me. You're still going on about that? Just shut the hell up already and live with the fact that Aiden was not dating you. No! Him and I were really a thing. That's why you need to give him back to me. Aiden is mine.
I'm nothing to you, annoying bitch. I've been with Elliot for years, and we just got married. So please, for the love of God, shut your mouth.
What?
Melanie, I'm sick and tired of this. Not only were you trying to convince everyone that we've been dating, but you started to call me your fiancé as well. But in reality, all you've been to me is my coworker. If you understand what I'm saying now, please just shut up about you and me being a thing and get back to whatever the hell you were doing before you started working with me.
Is that you, Aiden? Why are you being so cold to me right now? I'm not just some coworker to you, right? You've been so kind to me all this time. You even came all the way to my house to care for me while I was sick, while bringing me some jelly cups. You did that for me, because you love me, right?
I did not buy those jelly cups for you. I was told to bring them to you by our manager because nobody was eating them and he was going to throw them away.
What?
Honestly, I just wanted to give you your computer and get that other one back from you before leaving. But our manager told me to give you those jelly cups, and so that's what I did. You shouldn't think that I was doing that for you, because had our manager never told me to bring them, I wouldn't have. I didn't want to be at your house at all that day. But I had to because someone went and took that other computer home and tried to do my job from it.
You didn't buy those for me? I was totally happy with something like those jelly cups, though.
These things were like 4 years old and needed to go. They've been sitting on the back of the break room fridge for that long, and the boss wanted them gone. You see, nobody in the office likes those flavors, and so the only thing left to do with them was give them to you. I'm sure he thought you needed something since you were sick. And jelly is an easy thing to eat and digest, so there you go. You got yourself the whole office's leftovers.
So, that's the reason why you brought them for me?
Yep. In other words, we use you as the company garbage can.
You're lying, right? You brought me the office's 4-year-old leftovers as a gift to make me feel better?
Well, to me and the rest of the office, you're just that kind of person. Do you understand now how I feel about you? I have never been going out with you, and it's not like I was ever attracted to you in the first place.
No way. You can't be serious about that. I thought you bought those jelly cups for me. I ate all of those jelly cups thinking about how much you loved me then.
Well, thank you so much for finishing all those jelly cups off. I'm sure they were all so happy to have finally been eaten after that long in the back of the fridge.
So this means you and I have really not been dating? I've been so deeply in love with you, though.
And I am happy to hear how much you'd been into me, but I'm Elliot's husband now. So anyway, would you stop it with all those really weird fantasies now? All you are to me is a coworker. If you can finally see that, then please stop talking to my wife.
Why have you done this to me? Because of you, I'm being fired from my job now. Damn it. Stop talking to me already. I don't care that everything you've been doing is finally coming to bite you in the butt now. You should know that by now, especially after what you've done. You had your parents go into your office and your dad punch Aiden in the face believing your lies. What? Instead of going and telling your parents the damn truth, you went and continued to lie to them and made things even worse for everyone. You told them that he left you on the day of your wedding and left you crying in front of all your friends, right? Because of that, your parents asked you to let them into the office, and with their rage, went and took out their anger on Aiden. Your dad literally told Aiden that he was going to pay for making you cry before socking him in the jaw. Thank God the company is firing your ass now after what you've done to my husband. Just be happy I don't know where you are living right now, or I'd be coming over for your revenge. Why would all of that happen? I just wanted for Aiden to think about all he'd done to me. I thought that if my parents went and had a word with him, he'd leave you and come to me. Aiden never had anything to do with you, and yet you just went and helped your dad assault him. And guess what? Your parents came for me next. What? They went for you? But just when I thought they were coming to take their anger out on me, they both got on their hands and knees and started to beg for forgiveness. It seems that right after attacking Aiden, some of the other employees told your parents that you had been the one causing all the trouble. So they came to apologize for what you'd done to us. No way! My parents went and apologized to you? For your sake, all right. And after me, they went to the wedding venue and apologized to the staff there as well. You were asked to pay for coming into the place and acting like you had a wedding planned when you really didn't. And you also tried to come into our wedding to take it over so that you could have your own wedding sooner. But before you paid, you ran away and never came back. But they were telling me to pay $2,000 for that. There's no way I'm paying that for something that wasn't my fault. Well, if you don't pay it off, it's not going to be just your dad going to jail. Thankfully for you, your parents went and paid them before the police came and got your dad. What? Are you serious? They paid that off for me? And for that, you will never be seeing your parents again now. What? Your dad will be going to court now while in jail for assaulting Aiden, and your mom has had enough of your delusional crap and doesn't want to see you ever again. Before they left to go to the wedding venue, both of them were telling me all kinds of things about how you were no longer their daughter, and about how you seemed to never learn your lesson, so it was time they learned theirs by disowning you. No way! I'm gonna lose my parents now too? I've already lost my job and my friends though. Had you never had such a terrible spout of delusions like you had this time, then you might have been able to get off the hook and live a normal life. Actually, all you needed to do was apologize after Aiden and I told you to screw off for what you'd been trying to do. But you didn't even figure out that you could do that. Now you have fun trying to live a new life without all your friends and family. And while that's all happening with you, after that, from what Aiden had told me, it had been a topic of discussion for a while now to have Melanie fired from the company. She had been told plenty of times not to take any of the work computers home, besides just her personal one. And at one point, she left one of them at a cafe and it was reported to the company by the cafe later that day. Then came the whole situation with Aiden and Melanie's parents, and that led to the company saying they could no longer allow her to work there anymore. And with that, she was fired from the company on the spot and told to never come back. After that had happened, Melanie tried to go back to her parents' house, but her mom would not let her inside and told her to get off the property before calling the police herself. And when she tried to ask some of her now ex-friends to take her in for a bit, all of them blocked her. As of right now, she's back at her small apartment trying to pay rent with whatever savings she has left, while also going out and looking for a new job. The only issue for her is, a lot of the companies in town now know what has happened with her and her previous company, and won't even give her a chance to interview with them. I heard that she's not even eating anymore in an attempt to save money, and has lost over 25 pounds so far.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.
Hey Neil, I was wondering, could you please give me a little more to spend for this month? I really don't think this is enough to last the month.
What the hell do you mean? $500 is the amount that I always give you. Why is it suddenly not enough? Your job as the housewife is to figure out how to make it work.
I mean, I really did try, but prices have been going up a lot lately. Utility fees have also been up on the rise. I seriously doubt that $500 is going to be enough to account for everything.
Do you think you can just get more money from me? If $500 isn't enough, then that just means you aren't trying hard enough to make it work. If it isn't enough, then that's your fault. So pay the extra money from your own savings. You still have some left when you were single, don't you?
I really don't have that much left from back then. That's why I'm asking you for more like this.
Well, why the hell don't you have any savings left?
Because I've been using it to pay for whatever amount that you don't give me. You even told me to pay for your little sister's wedding with the monthly $500 that you give me. How am I supposed to even do that? So I had no choice but to use my own savings, and that was the last of what I had.
Wow. You really are useless, aren't you? How do you manage to use up so much money?
All I did was try to support our family without putting more on your shoulders. But I really can't keep that up anymore. So could you please make some adjustments on our monthly budget? Even $100 more per month would help a lot.
Are you stupid or something? That's not how our society works. Do you think a company will give you a raise if you just ask them for more money? No, you work hard, and the employer decides when the worker deserves a raise. The money that I hand you every month is the same thing as that. If you want money, then go find a job to make it yourself.
But...
You have one job, Becky. Your only job is to make our monthly spending fit inside the budget. You fail to accomplish that and still have the audacity to ask for more money from me? Look, the only reason that you have anything that belongs to you right now is because I supported you. Don't ever forget that, you useless idiot.
Useless idiot? Did you seriously just call me that?
Yes. What's wrong with stating the facts? If I hadn't let you marry me out of the kindness of my heart, then someone like you would have had to stay single for the rest of her life. You should be thankful that I'm even here with you at this very moment.
Hey Becky, did you see the pictures that I sent to you? Neil bought me the best present in the world for my birthday. It's a purse that costs more than everything you own combined. Isn't it gorgeous?
Yeah, I saw the picture. That's very impressive, Lisa. Neil has never given me anything expensive as a present before. As a matter of fact, he's never given me a birthday present in general before.
What? No way. Why wouldn't he give you any presents?
Well, he stopped giving me anything as soon as we got married. According to him, it's a waste of money that we could be spending to support the two of us.
Wow, that is harsh. But then again, I guess Neil didn't have much of a choice on that topic. I mean, who would want to give any presents to you? I heard that you're useless at home.
What?
Yeah, Neil tells me all about the things you mess up all the time. I thought you'd start learning from your mistakes, but I guess you're still dragging my brother down. You can't even keep up your spending within the family budget, right?
Do you even know how much I get each month for everything? I only get $500 to pay for all the food and utilities.
$500? Seriously? You're telling me that you think $500 isn't enough to pay for a month's worth of expenses? I mean, how could you not?
Well, it's different for the two of us. You live by yourself at the moment, don't you? How much do you spend each month to pay for your groceries and utilities?
I'd say about $1,500. I absolutely hate doing housework, so I just pay someone else to do it all for me.
Really?
Yeah, but I make someone else do all of the cleaning, cooking, and shopping for me, and it still only cost me about $1,500 a month. If you did it all by yourself, then I'd imagine that you could manage to keep the spending to a third of what I'd spend. I mean, I'm sure that I would be able to do all of that as a housewife if I was in your shoes.
It's not that simple, Lisa. As soon as an unexpected fee appears, the plan for the whole month suddenly crumbles.
You know what I hear? I hear excuses. I would never let out any excuses if I were you. I've only been talking to you a few times, and I'm already starting to get annoyed. I feel horrible for my brother for having to live under the same roof as you.
How could you say that to your sister-in-law?
Do not take it personally, but I'm going to use you as a good example of how not to carry out my marriage life. In case you haven't heard by now, me and my fiancé have decided to host our wedding next month. So I'm officially becoming his wife. I'll make sure to take care of our monthly budget flawlessly, and my husband will give me presents every month.
I wish the best for you, honey. Maybe you'll find out how difficult it is to pay for everything with only $500 a month.
You know, I'm gonna be real with you. If you don't step up your game, Neil might decide that you're not worth his time. So if you don't want that to happen, then at least start trying to become a good wife.
Neil, I'm sorry for contacting you on such a short notice, but I don't think I'm going to make it to today's wedding. I've had a fever since this morning and it won't go away, even after I drank some medicine.
What the hell do you mean? Are you trying to tell me that you can't show up to my precious little sister's wedding? What makes you even slightly think that I would allow that to happen? Come to the wedding hall right now, or else.
I really want to. I do. But my fever just reached 100 degrees. I really don't think I'm going to make it through the whole thing conscious.
Do you think I care what your body temperature is? The only thing that I care about is whether you refuse to show up to my sister's wedding and ruin her impression. How do you think the guests are going to react when they see that there's an empty seat at the family's table? They'll think someone purposely refused to show, and that'll ruin the whole thing.
Could you please just set my seat aside then?
No, you're my wife and the bride's older sister-in-law. There's no chance that I'll ever allow you to be absent from this event.
But... Are you seriously telling me to attend a wedding with this kind of fever? I can barely stand up right now, and I'm barely grasping onto conscience as I'm texting you right now. There's no way I'll be able to survive a whole wedding.
Well, then you're not trying hard enough. You have the rest of your life to slack off at home as a housewife, so make yourself useful when it matters for once.
Seriously? Do you think I got sick on your sister's wedding day on purpose? It's not like I can control it.
Shut up. Just go get ready and be here at the wedding hall in an hour. I'll meet you at the entrance. And don't forget about my necktie.
Your necktie? What's wrong with your necktie?
You said that you wanted to stay lying down for as long as possible, so I came along. But I had to tie my own necktie, and I don't like how it turned out. So I need you to come and tie it over again like you always do.
Are you being serious right now? You can't even tie your own necktie?
Shut your mouth. I could if I wanted to. It's just that I've been making you do it for me for a long while, and thanks to that, I've been having trouble making a clean knot.
Can't you ask one of your parents or friends? I really don't think I can make it there today.
What? You want a grown man like me to go to my parents and ask them to tie a necktie for me? How on earth do you think that I will go out of my way to embarrass myself like that?
Then please just try to do it on your own. I'm sure there's tons of tutorials on YouTube about how to tie a necktie.
Do you think I haven't tried that already? I tried to do it myself while watching a tutorial video and it didn't work. Why else would I be asking you to do it for me? I can't attend my precious little sister's wedding with a necktie like this. Just hurry up and come here.
I told you already. I have 100-degree fever right now.
I've heard enough of your excuses. If your husband tells you to go somewhere, then you shut up and go there. It's not my problem whether you're sick or not. If you can't walk, then crawl. I swear, if you don't come here right now, I can and will divorce you.
You know what? Okay. I finally made up my mind. We're officially divorced, Neil. I cannot take being your wife anymore. I'll be resting for a little more, so excuse me. Once I'm feeling better, I'll go and get a divorce paper so we can sign it and turn it in.
Wait, what do you mean we're officially divorced?
Well, you just said that you can and will divorce me if I don't crawl over to your sister's wedding. So I chose to divorce you instead.
Why the hell would you make that choice? Are you out of your mind? You could just come over to the wedding. Whatever. Fools will be fools, I guess.
I'm confident that staying together with you is more foolish than any other choice. I can't allow myself to keep being harassed by you, and I don't want to be your caretaker for the rest of your life. I'm confident that I'll enjoy the rest of my life, not having to worry about babying you.
What do you mean?
Well then, that's that. So I hope you're able to figure out how to tie your own necktie. You're already a big boy, so you're gonna have to learn how to do it at some point anyway.
What kind of wife refuses to tie her husband's tie and doesn't show up for his sister's wedding? You know what? Fine. I don't care. You're nothing to me now, so leave my house right now.
I'm glad we're on the same page here. Well then, I guess this is a mutual agreement.
Whatever. We both know that you'll be begging me to take you back in a matter of weeks. You're just a housewife who can't make a living on her own. You literally need me, and I don't need you. Even your old workplace wouldn't hire you since you've been away for so long. You'll have no job and no money. And you'll be begging me to take you back before you even know it.
I'll work hard so that doesn't happen. Well then, it seems like the medicine is starting to work, so I'll be going to sleep now. I'll pack my things and leave the house as soon as I wake up.
I just heard the news from Neil. What a shame. You're gonna miss the wedding because of some fever today, right?
Yes, and I just fallen asleep. Thanks a lot for waking me up, Lisa.
Well then, I assume that you've come to your senses after a refreshing slumber. Do you remember that you announced that you were going to divorce my brother? I mean, I get that you were barely conscious because of the fever, but how stupid could you possibly be? Do you even remember saying that?
Of course I remember, and I'm grateful that I got this fever because it allowed me to finally say what I've been wanting to say for the past few years.
Seriously? I think you need to get your brain checked out at the hospital. You never would have gotten close to the life that you live right now if it weren't for Neil. But you throw all of that away because of some stupid reason like this?
I don't know what you've heard from that man, but our marriage was not happy at all. And it's obvious that my life will be way better if I have a new and fresh start without him.
You don't have to act so tough in front of me. I know that you're saying all of this nonsense because your brain is not working right now, but you'll regret it once you'll cool off. You know, I could do you a favor and set up a chance for you to apologize. Your fever is starting to go away, isn't it? Just swallow your pride and come to the wedding already.
I'm sorry, but I seriously don't think that I can make it today. And I need to pack up and leave the house by the end of the day anyway, so I won't have time to go either way.
So you're serious about the divorce, huh? You're more stubborn than I thought you would be. Whatever, I guess you're free to go then. I never considered you to be worthy of Neil's wife anyway. I'm sure he'll appreciate your decision. He deserves someone who is kind, witty, and thoughtful, unlike someone.
I'm sure he does, and I hope he finds someone who can fit his criteria.
Like, seriously, why did he even marry you in the first place? You don't show up to your sister-in-law's wedding and get a fever on top of that. If you can't take care of your spending or your health, then what good are you? Hurry up and sign the divorce paper already.
You don't have to tell me to. I'll be sure that it's signed and turned in by the end of the day. Regardless of the reason, I'm sorry for not being able to show up to your wedding today, and I appreciate that you invited me. I've already contacted and apologized to the groom's side, so you don't have to worry about their judgment of me being absent.
What? Why would you go out of your way to do that? And how do you know the groom's phone number? I never taught you his number, have I?
No, but we used to be in the same class during high school, so I've always known his phone number. Haven't I told you before?
What? No, you have not told me that before. You and Kevin used to be classmates?
Yes, and it's a very long time since I'd last seen him. He was always one of the most social and brightest people that I'd ever seen. I remember that he was even chosen as student body president one time. I was the vice president, so we were pretty close to each other at the time.
What? Wait, you're not joking right now, are you? I've never heard of that story from him before.
I mean, why would he tell you? I'm sure he never even imagined that I would be his fiancé's sister-in-law. Well, up until a few hours ago, that is.
What?
Kevin came over to your parents' house to say hi a few months ago, didn't he? Well, I was there during that event, but Neil told me to stay in the kitchen while the guest was there. And I stayed in the kitchen the whole time you two were cooking and cleaning. So I never got to meet him when everyone else in the family did.
Oh, I mean, I can't imagine my brother saying that to you, I guess.
I only got to see a glimpse of his face just as the two of you were leaving, and I was absolutely shocked to see that a high school classmate was marrying my sister-in-law.
Wait, so what did you text him earlier? You only said that you were so sick so you weren't coming, right? Don't you dare tell me that you told him about the whole drama of your divorce.
Wait, did you not want me to tell him? I told him all about me and Neil getting divorced, along with a notice that I wasn't coming to the wedding today.
What?
I mean, Neil is going to be Kevin's brother-in-law. So why wouldn't I want him to give a heads up about the kind of person his soon-to-be older brother is? I just gave him a short explanation about the kind of people you and your brother are.
What do you mean you gave him an explanation? You didn't say anything that would damage my image, did you?
Oh no, I think my fever is starting to go back up again. I better get back to sleep then. I'll see you when I'm better. Have fun with your wedding.
Becky, please, just come back and live with me. Can't do anything and the house is falling apart without you.
What?
Don't even know how to get the washing machine to work. And I'm already tired of ordering pizza. I need your handmade food. Just please come back. I'm begging you.
It's barely been a week since I left Neil. If all you want is an obedient maid, then don't come to me and hire one with your money. And if you can't manage to live alone, then why don't you go back to living with your parents?
I would have gone back if I could. But I can't, thanks to you absolutely demolishing my sister's wedding. Now they won't even talk to me.
What? What do you mean?
Quit acting dumb. You know what happened. Since you snitched to me and Lisa, the groom called the wedding off minutes before it started. He started going off about how he can't marry someone who can't respect others. He especially shamed me for ridiculing my own wife. And that he didn't even remotely want anything to do with me.
Oh, really? All Kevin texted me was thanks for telling me about something so important. So I had no idea what had specifically happened to the two of you. He did offer to go for a drink sometime when I'm feeling better though.
Well, I hope you're proud because Lisa has been staying at our parents' house and bawling her eyes out since then. And when I tried to visit, Lisa threw a huge tantrum about it all being my fault. She even said that she never wanted to see my face ever again. Now I'm not even allowed to go back to my house anymore.
Oh, wow, so that's what happened.
Yeah, but I can't do anything around the house. And everyone in my office knows that I got divorced from you for some reason.
What?
Yeah, neither my colleagues nor my boss speak to me unless they absolutely have to. And the treatment that I receive from my female colleagues is absolutely horrible. Well, no matter what I ask them to do, all they tell me is that I should do it myself instead of relying on a woman to do it for me. They even refuse to pour a cup of coffee when I ask them to.
Oh, wow, that must be horrible. I guess you've learned a valuable lesson. Never underestimate the power of a group of females who've found a common enemy.
Look, I really am regretting my actions right now. I recognize that I've treated you wrongly throughout our marriage. And I never should have ridiculed you for being a housewife. I finally appreciate everything you've done for me. Don't you want to come back to being in the comfort and protection of me?
Seriously?
You probably haven't found a new job yet, have you? So you can come back to serving me as a housewife and we can have a mutual relationship again. All you have to do is worry about taking care of the house from now on.
Are you kidding? Of course I've already found a job. And it's a really good one too.
What? You already found a job? But you've barely had any experience doing anything for the past 10 years that you were staying at home.
If anything, I've been taking care of you like a baby for the past 10 years, taking care of you at home. And from day in to day out. Why would such a hard worker like me have trouble finding a job? If anything, I got tons of offers from all kinds of different companies. I decided on the best choice that I could find and got in without any trouble at all.
Really?
Yeah, and I think I'm doing pretty well at it too. The work is really fun and the work environment is amazing too. By the way, thanks to you for treating me like a maid for the past decade, I've had absolutely no trouble keeping my order in my house.
But wait, so you have no intention of moving back in with me?
Of course not. So if you want a maid, then I suggest you hire one, because I'm not going back. Now wait, you wouldn't be able to pay for a maid with a $500 monthly budget, would you? I guess you'd finally found out how much the effort from a housewife is worth. Later on, I heard that Neil decided that he couldn't change. So he hired a maid to work for him to do housework. But after trying to make them do as good of a job as I used to, the fee for a month came out to be $2,500. I mean, what would you expect after having 3 meals a day made for you along with cleaning and grooming? After a month, he gave up on hiring a maid. But apparently, everything he wears is crunched up and his tie is just a mess too. I've heard that he's been reported to the security a few times because he looked so unfit for the office.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Nicole? Did you really get a divorce? I overheard some of this from Mom and Dad. Now that I think about it, I never did tell you, did I, Tessa? Actually, just last month, Kyle and I got a divorce. There were a few reasons behind why it happened to us, but there was no working our way around them. Dang! That's freaking hilarious, actually. I can't believe things happened just like I imagined they would with you getting divorced only a few months after marriage. What? People say that beautiful women only have 3 days before their man gets tired of their looks, right? And no matter how beautiful of a woman you are, Nicole, you can't just expect to keep a husband around with your looks. So no wonder things didn't last. Everyone should know by now that it's more about what's on the inside than what's on the outside when it comes to women. Huh? In other words, just because your face is nice, that doesn't mean that Kyle really felt that attached to you internally. Honestly, I'm not sure how a handsome and elite man like Kyle even got married to you in the first place. Wah. That's what happens when you're nothing more than looks. And now that you have a divorce under your belt, you're screwed. Hey, Tessa, your older sister just had a divorce and you're not even going to try to comfort her? Who is wanting to comfort you? If anything, I'm happy that you got divorced. The more and more unhappy you are, the better I feel about myself. What did you say? Ever since you were a teen, you've always lived in the spotlight due to your good looks, right? And all of the people I had a crush on went to you because you looked so pretty. Because of you, I was always having to cry myself to sleep at night knowing I would never be able to get a man myself with you around. But now the tables have finally turned. The fact that I'm now doing a ton better than you at this game called life really does bring great tears of joy to my eyes. Huh? After all, I was able to get married before you, right? And right now I'm pregnant with the child of a man that loves me. Right now I'm living a life that is tens of times more joyful and exciting than yours. What? You're pregnant now? Well, that's some really good news. Congrats. How many months are you along now? 5 months now, and that's why starting next week, I'll be coming back home to Mom and Dad's house. What? You're coming home? When I went and talked with Dad about it, he told me that you've hunkered down at their place ever since your divorce. The fact that your reason for being back home with Mom and Dad was so sad compared to mine made me laugh my butt off. I never said that I was sad about what happened or about having to come home to Mom and Dad's house. You trying so hard to look tough now only makes you look more depressing. I'm sorry. You just got divorced from Kyle and all and are really down in spirit. And, well, I just went and showed you how happy my life is, which is probably something you didn't want to see. I hope you don't take your anger and jealousy out on me when I come back home with my baby. I would never take anything out on you. I made the right choice focusing on becoming a better person on the inside instead of the outside like you. When it comes to marriage, it's all about what's on the inside and not about what's on the outside, right? I went and studied cooking at school and learned how to clean and do laundry, and I also studied how to behave like a woman. After studying all of those things, my skills grew as a woman, and I was able to get married early and start a wonderful life with my husband. Yet you, who only ever focused on your beauty and such, never made it past dating men and has to live with your failures for the rest of your life. You're starting to become really energetic over there, Tessa. Are you really that happy about the fact that I had a divorce? I'm not happy about the divorce itself. I'm happy that I've finally finished on top above you and am living the life you wish you could have. Now, starting next week, I'll be seeing you back at Mom and Dad's house. And when you see my large belly carrying my baby, you can break down and cry some more.
Hey, Nicole, you know about how today Tessa will be coming home, right? That's why I've made sure to put a lot of your things in the storage room down in the basement.
What?
While you've been out doing things, I took the chance to move a lot of your stuff, and starting today, your room is being used by Tessa, which means you'll be living in the basement from now on.
Hold on a second, Dad. Why do I have to go and live down there? Isn't her room still open and ready for her to live in?
I thought you noticed that I turned her room into my study, and I wasn't going to make someone as important as a pregnant woman sleep on the couch. That's why I'm having her take your room from you. A shameful divorced woman like you can go live in the cold and dark basement now.
Excuse me?
Jesus Christ, you really have lost everything you once had. When you were younger, I could brag about you all day because you were my cute little girl. But after just 3 months of being married, you ended up getting divorced and had to come all the way back here. Because of you, your mom and I have become a laughingstock to the whole neighborhood.
Are you freaking kidding me? Who the hell is at fault for me having to come all the way back to your house?
Excuse me?
Both you and Mom started to say some terrible things to Kyle. The moment you both learned that he was making over $100,000 a year, you both started to talk about his money all the time and asking when he was going to give some of it to you both. Then, when he would try to refrain from talking about his income, you both started to tell him that he had to send you both $3,000 a month in order to pay for you guys to remodel the house. And after weeks of you both constantly badgering him for his money, he finally drew the line and said we needed to get a divorce.
Shut your mouth. We gave up our cute little girl so that he could have a wife, so we assumed he would be willing to give us some money in return for you.
Am I some kind of object to you then?
Yet instead, that bastard returned you back to us. We don't need some kind of divorced daughter in our family. You are worthless to us now. And after all that work getting your mom to give birth to such a beautiful girl like you, and after all the work I put in to make sure you had the best cosmetics to boost your beauty even further, now all you are to this family is a shameful burden that we don't want to be seen.
Huh?
All you're good for is your face, and had you used that face to get us a man with lots of money, we would have been pleased. Then he could have used his money to take care of your mom and I, as well as the house. And we were so close to it with that bastard, but he never once sent us the money we asked for and sent you back to us with a divorce.
So that's how you've always thought of me, huh, Dad? The fact that all you could think of me as was a way of making money makes both you and Mom frickin' jokes.
The only joke here is you, a beautiful lady with a divorce record, loses almost all her worth in this world. All you have is a good-looking face, while inside you're nothing but sadness. You got all of our hopes up for nothing. All you've done is bring great shame to this family. And that means that from now on, your mom and I will be putting all of our attention towards Tessa and not a drop of it into you.
What?
I get that unlike you, Tessa isn't all that pretty. I never had very high hopes for her before, but she did get married before you and now has a baby on the way. Which means that very soon here, your mom and I will have our first cute grandbaby coming from her. She's the best daughter ever. Her husband isn't making as much as I hoped for, but with a little push, I'm sure we can get him some promotions. Thank goodness your mom and I had 2 daughters, just in case something like this happened.
You are being such a dick right now that I'm actually starting to really hate you. How can someone like you even be my father? Honestly, thinking about it thoroughly, you and Mom, along with Tessa, should all be ashamed of yourselves.
How dare you say that when you're the one living in our house? Anywho, you're gonna be living down in the storage room in the basement from now on, and there you can think about the person you really are to this family.
I went ahead and tossed all your things out of the house now. So could you get lost now as well? And don't ever come back to this house again. What? While you've been out of the house playing around, I went and had all your things tossed out of the house. Now go out there and collect all your things and get lost, you pain in the butt. Why is this happening to me now? I've been making sure to not get in your way while you're back home getting ready to have your baby. And I've remained quiet about the fact that I need to sleep down in the basement now. Just having a divorced woman like you in the house is more than enough to get in our way. Just having the aura of a single used-up woman in the basement pisses me off. You just being around us has left this house smelling like sadness and despair. Huh? Mom and Dad have been saying the same things as well. And they would like for a shameful daughter like you to get out of their house as soon as possible. They've also been calling you this household's parasite. Excuse me? Of course you divorced women are all terrible at being kind to others. I heard that Mom and Dad have even been looking for another man for you to marry, yet you continue to say no to every single one of them. And that's why all three of us have been sighing about you being nothing more than a pain in the butt. I never asked Mom or Dad to go out looking for another man for me, so of course I'm going to be telling every one of them no. And to make things even more creepy, most of the men they bring me are in their 60s. To them, all they care about is that the man has money and nothing else. Are you really in a position to choose what man you get next? Especially when you're only good for your face and have a history of divorce under your belt now. Huh? I think Mom and Dad have finally come around to understanding it. Just because their daughter looks good doesn't mean that she'll be able to bring them any fortune after getting married to a rich man, and that all you are is useless baggage. Just yesterday, they told me that the only daughter they need now is me, since I'm someone they can still feel proud of. What? In the past, Mom and Dad only ever cared about you because you had really good looks. And them spoiling you all the time like that really made me jealous of you. But finally, after so long, they both are finally looking at me. They've even started asking me if I'd like to move back in with them for good, with my husband, of course. I see. So, really, right now I'm nothing more than said useless baggage. But forcing me out of the house out of left field like this? I don't care whether this pisses you off or not. Women like you, who've already had a divorce and are single now, deserve to live alone. Get out of the house right now, you parasite. Are you sure? Well, don't mind if I do. Huh? I'm really going to leave the house now then. I've been waiting for this day for a long time now. After having been treated like trash in that house ever since the divorce, I am so happy to finally have a chance to leave. What is going on here? Why are you so happy? Do you have any idea what's going on right now? Are you screwed in the head or something? You shouldn't be that happy about being kicked out of this house. I know exactly what's going on here. I'm being kicked out of Mom and Dad's house and can finally be free again. Now I can finally go back to my beloved Kyle and make things right with him. What? After being kicked out by him, you're going to go back? He didn't just get rid of me for no reason. We had a plan behind the divorce, and I was actually the one to divorce him. Actually, the correct way to look at it is I asked for the divorce. Huh? The reason I asked for the divorce is because of Mom and Dad. By having them around us all the time, I just knew things weren't going to end up well for Kyle. Both of them kept pestering him about how he needed to start sending them money because they allowed me to marry him. It was driving the both of us up the wall. So in the end, I asked him for a divorce so that he didn't have to deal with them any longer. I seriously could not stand all the crap Mom and Dad were saying. So we made a plan to divorce for a little while until I had gone and dealt with Mom and Dad for good. So you really asked for a divorce and then went back to Mom and Dad's house? And the timing for it was perfect, as Kyle was about to leave on an overseas business trip, which, by the way, has now turned into him living overseas for a while. I knew him leaving would be the perfect chance, and so we signed the divorce papers and then were able to get away from one another for a bit. I didn't want to let Mom and Dad get anywhere near him anymore, so I went home saying that he was the one who divorced me. I told them that he was tired of me being nothing but pretty and left me for another woman who actually had a personality. But that's not the real reason at all, right? Kyle was crying the day he had to sign the divorce papers, saying he would be lonely without me for the next few months. What? The other option we had was me completely cutting ties to both Mom and Dad and then leaving the country with him. But I still had some respect for both Mom and Dad since they raised me. I was hoping that after moving back home I could sit down with them and talk things over about why the divorce really had to happen. But neither of them would ever listen to me. They seemed to think that since I was the reason for the divorce, I was an embarrassment to them and used that reason to always pick on me. That was going on this whole time and only became worse the moment you came home with your baby. So for the past couple of weeks, I've already been preparing myself to leave this place and never come back. Is that right? I thought that before I left, I could at least stick around and see you having your cute little baby. And that's why I've kind of been holding off from leaving in the middle of the night. But the dreariness of living in the basement now and always having to listen to you talking crap about me has really changed my heart for good. Things have been really getting to the point now where I just couldn't stand any of you anymore, so thank you for kicking me out today. So now you're going to go find Kyle and remarry him? Yes, that's the plan. I just got off a video call with him a little bit ago while I was at the park. I was telling him that things were getting so bad here that I'd be coming out to see him soon. And you know what Kyle said? Hurry up and come be with me again. I never thought that you and him were still talking. Well, it doesn't matter to me whether you've had plans of getting back together with your ex or not. Both Mom and Dad are done with you, and now I've become their one and only daughter, which means that from now on, they'll both be spoiling me. And if you decide to really live with them for good luck to you. It's not going to be as hard as you think. I was planning to come and live with them for a long time now, and when I'm here, they both can't help but spoil me and their soon-to-be-born grandbaby. And I also plan to help them by putting some money into their wallets, unlike their greedy first daughter. So you and your husband will be giving them the $3,000 a month they asked Kyle and I for? That's a lot more money than I expected from you guys. What? Mom and Dad were trying to force Kyle to give them $3,000 a month, which means they will be asking that much from you guys now, right? They also told us that we needed to pay them to get the house remodeled. So you guys will be handling that now too, right? After all, you both are going to be living with Mom and Dad forever soon, right? Wait a sec, what? You're lying about the $3,000 a month thing, right? Good luck. I need to get home to grab all my things and then get ready to go and see my man again.
Hey, Nicole. I heard about this from Tessa. You've left the house and are getting back together with Kyle? If you've really decided to get remarried to that elite, then I'll forgive you. So you come back to this house right now.
Huh? You have Tessa and her husband there now, right? My room is also taken, so there's no place for me to sleep in that house now, right? And actually, I don't even want to go back there, so it's fine.
I'll kick both Tessa and her man out right now, so you need to come back here now.
What?
I never thought that Tessa and her husband could be such a useless couple. Even though I was being so generous by kicking you out and having them come live here, neither of them have any money.
They only just moved in and you're already wanting them out? You're supposed to be getting a cute little grandbaby soon as well, yet you want to kick them out and onto the streets?
I look forward to the baby, but I don't want to take care of it or the two useless lovers. Yet for some reason, Tessa keeps telling your mom and I that we have to be the ones to take care of her baby. And that's not all. She's asking us to pay for her baby.
What? She has?
I was really happy when she agreed to live here again with us and her husband. And she told me she'd give us some money every month as well to help out. So when I went and told her to give us the $3,000 we needed, she told me she couldn't pay it. She told me she was only thinking of giving us $100 a month.
I knew that you'd want to get that $3,000 from them as well. But to be honest with you, I don't think they were even planning on paying you that $100.
$100 for allowing them to live here is way too little. That's why I tried to make a deal by saying next time they just had to pay me $1,000. But when I said that, she told me it would be impossible for them. And after she told me the reason for why that is, I learned that her husband had lost his company job.
Seriously?
Right now he's working as some sort of a contractor of sorts, but this year he won't be making the same kind of money he made at that company before. And that meant each month they can only pay me $100 and nothing more. It turns out that after giving birth to her baby, Tessa wants to go to work as well. And that's why she's asked your mom and I to take care of the baby.
So not only is she willing to hand over $100 a month to live with you and Mom, but she's also asking you to take care of her baby when she's had it?
She's also asking that we give her money for the baby. She said that because she has to go through all that work to give us a cute grandbaby, we needed to reward her. She also handed your mom and I a list of things she wants us to buy for her baby before she gives birth.
Really?
I never thought that our Tessa was such a selfish and greedy child. Things have gone way off the rails now. I had to have a talk with your mom about her. And in the end, we decided that we had to get you to come back. If you're gonna get back together with Kyle again, then I don't care about you having a divorce before. Come back to your parents' house right now.
You all are quite some selfish idiots, aren't you? You already kicked me out of your house thinking about yourselves, yet are now asking for me back? Say that all you'd like, but it's not happening. I've run off with my man now, and we are no longer living in the US.
What did you say? You guys already left the country?
I don't ever want to go back to a crappy family like yours. So no matter how much you tell me to come back, I'm not.
Then at least send us some money. I won't ask for such a selfish amount as $3,000, all right? Just $1,000 will do. That should be nothing for your husband to have to pay us, right?
Huh? We're not going to give you guys a penny even. I can't believe you have the balls to be asking Kyle and I for money after all you've done to me.
What? I just lowered the amount by 2/3 and you're still not going to pay? We are your parents, Nicole. It is your duty as a child to do everything for your parents and be a good kid.
I don't have any parents, though. I cut ties to the both of them already and am a lonely child now.
What?
So you can forget about any money coming from me. I will not allow a penny of the money my husband worked so hard for to go into your greedy little pockets.
Hey, you're lying. Your mom and I raised you from a little tiny baby. What do you think you're doing, throwing both of your parents away after they birthed you as a beautiful woman?
You both were the ones to throw me out first, right? So cut the BS trying to act like you're the victims now.
What did you just say?
I had tried for months to get you and Mom to sit down and talk with me about resolving some of the issues we'd had. I wanted to tell you both that you couldn't use my husband as an ATM. But neither you or Mom would ever give me a second of your time and would just continue to talk to me like I was a disgrace. And now the results of those actions are this: your daughter cutting ties to you and running off forever.
I won't allow this. I won't allow my daughter to tell me that she's cutting ties to us.
Well, tough crap, because I just said it and I'll say it again and again. I have cut ties to you and Mom and will never be going back to that hell. As for your guys' contacts, I'm deleting them right now. And if we ever move back to the US, I'm not telling you anything. Because I don't ever want to see you guys again.
What?
The only daughter you and Mom have now is Tessa. Yet now you're trying to kick her out of your house. If you do that, you won't have any kids to be proud of anymore.
I don't want that. I need you guys around me so that I don't have to work anymore in my old age.
Well, you can't ask me for help anymore, so the only person you have left is her. I'm not even going to your funeral when you kick the can. That's how much I despise both Mom and you. What am I going to do, Nicole? I'm most likely going to be getting divorced here soon. What? What's going on with you now? I get that a lot had to happen before, but weren't you finally able to live at Mom and Dad's house with your husband and baby? And I've heard from others that you guys all living together has been going well. Up until now, things have somehow worked out, but ever since I had the baby, things went downhill. The family is falling apart now. Oh? Last week I finally had my baby, but since then my husband and everyone have been terrible to me. They take a look at my baby and call it a monkey and wonder why it's so ugly. Seriously? And Dad keeps going on about how you were cute the moment you were born, and so this baby should be cute as well. Mom, Dad, and my husband all say they can't love my baby if it's this ugly, so neither of them will be helping us raise it now. All they keep saying are these terrible things about my baby, and I just can't stand it anymore. That really does suck, doesn't it? And this has led to my husband becoming really upset with me now. Because not only has his baby turned out to be ugly, but both Mom and Dad have started to drill into him about his job. They keep asking him when he's going to find a proper job again and stop working as a contractor. And then they go on about how he needs to find a job and start putting that money into the house, or else he'll become a parasite like you were. And after a few days of that, my husband got fed up and left the house. Wow, I could see anyone leaving the house after having to hear all of that. But I only just had our baby. Right now my husband is going to live somewhere else, and neither Mom or Dad are willing to help with their grandbaby. I can't take it anymore, Nicole. I haven't even been able to sleep ever since having this baby. But you shouldn't be crying to me about all of that. I'm no longer a part of that family. So I don't really care about what happens to you there. Why are you being so cold to me? Why is everyone being so mean to me now? All I did was move back home with Mom and Dad, hoping to have a fun and relaxing life here. I also thought that I was finally becoming Mom and Dad's most important daughter, and I thought that they'd both spoil me and my baby by taking care of them for me. And if you end up having to get a divorce now, things will only suck worse. You'll finally become that divorced, single, useless woman that you were making fun of me for being. I don't want to become divorced. I have to become happier than you no matter what. I have to avoid this divorce and make things right with Mom and Dad. I have to win against you or else I'll... You really are an idiot for thinking that life is all about winning and losing. If you really only care about winning and nothing else, then how about you do that with your own strength instead of relying on putting down others in order to do so? I'm not sure if you'll ever be able to dig your way out of that hole now, though, but I don't really care. A few days after that conversation, Tessa was told by her husband that he wanted to get a divorce and that he'd be letting her keep full custody over their newborn baby. And after the divorce, the money that would come from her ex as child support went right to Tessa's parents to use instead of her and the baby. This soon led to Tessa blowing up in front of the both of them, and she began to throw things around the house in a fight against her mom and dad's selfishness. Tessa and her dad really got into it during that fight, and all their yelling about how terrible of parents they were, and about how terrible of a daughter she was, rang out through the neighborhood. Those words would leave an everlasting impression on the area, as all of the residents now refer to Tessa and her mom and dad as trashy and shameful. I sure do feel bad for the newborn that lives in that house with those 3 horrible people, but hopefully it makes it to an age where it can move out of there on its own and never have to be around any one of them again. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.